Hi everyone! You probably have seen me in my different videos, and if you have not, this is an example of what quadratic function or quadratic funding is. Let's say I've got a charity pool and I have $100. It's a very poor charity. So I have a pool of $100 and I'm going to allocate to, let's say, 5 projects. Now, one way is to divide it equally. So 100 projects, $100, I've got 5 projects, each project receives $20. That's one way. Or the other way is to allow the community to vote, or allow the community to somehow vote for what they are enjoying, what they like. So this is where quadratic funding comes in. So we start off, we have this curve that goes up like that, and then for every individual, everyone funds some amount of money, and how do we allocate this $100 is that we want to square as you can imagine, quadratic is square, right? So we want to square the contribution and then allocate money equally. So without going into too much details, the idea is that as more people are supporting, so we have 5 projects and we have project A, B, C, D, E. So let's say most people are supporting project A, and so we want to allocate more money to project A, and we allocate it in a squared manner. So the more sophisticated explanation is that you have the sum of the square, and then you have the sum of the root square. Basically, the idea is that this quadratic funding now becomes a more efficient way to be allocating these funding to different projects that the community has voted for. So in an economics term, it becomes a very interesting binding mechanism to be rewarding and funding the right kind of projects based on what the community has voted. So once again, the idea of quadratic funding is very simple. Based on the votes or based on the donations that the project has, then the more votes or the more donations that the project receives, the more funding in an exponential term the project will receive. So that's the idea of quadratic funding. Okay, so as you can see, there's high quality in the videos. It's not just me saying that, but a lot of people have said that. So there's a lot of high quality in the video, in the content, and I get a lot of good feedback saying that this is much better than a lot of the other videos that is out there, where it's mainly just shilling, whereas the videos that I create is really very educational, explaining to different people how the mechanisms work, explaining to them the economics of how the system works, as well as some aspects of engineering, which I think is very important in educating people in the space. Now, the problem is that the quality is high, but the production value is low. So this is what I'm seeking the Git grant for, where the Gitcoin grant. I'm looking to get about $2,500 per month for 6 months, where I'll hire someone to increase the production value. Why? Why is this good for the community? Because number one, the content will still be there, the content will be very high. What you're going to do now is we're going to get very high production value, as in the quality of the audio, the images, the animation, the cool sound effects, something to keep people engaged. And this is very important because when videos are too lecture style, people don't really like that. People like things where it's more entertaining, it's a bit more fun. And so I want to hire someone to work with me to create more engaging educational pieces. And this will be very good for the community because then more people will be educated about what's going on in the space and not just blindly putting money into these different projects. And also putting money into the right projects that shows the different potential and that is built from foundations up. So I'm looking for grants, and I'm accepting USDC or ETH, and then working with people to create very high quality content and production for people in the space. So people who are existing crypto users can understand more about what they're in, what projects they're in, and newbies in the space can also come to understand what they're in for. Hope that helps. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ping me. Thank you for your donation.